I'm Jo Taranto, and I'm joined by Matt Robertson, who is a process engineer at TasWater and was also named the 2008 Tasmanian Young Water Professional of the Year. We're talking today about what it's like to go from a student to a young water professional, and also a little bit about water treatment optimisation. Thanks so much for joining me, Matt.
No worries.
So what brought you to the water industry then, Matt?
Well, it's quite a funny story. I didn't really study for it, and I didn't really have necessarily a passion for the water industry, but Lance Stapleton, who's an integral member of the Tasmanian AWA Association and been in the water industry for, I don't know how long he's been in the water industry for, really sort of, got me into the industry. He brought me in when I was just going into uni. He awarded me a scholarship. It was titled the Steve Balcombe Scholarship. And it was back when Southern Water was still an entity before it merged into TasWater. And then, after that, he sort of, again, provided me another opportunity when I was finishing university. When I was looking for jobs, out of the blue, he gave me a call and, asked me, would I be interested in working for TasWater? And the rest is history.
And Lance has become somewhat of a mentor for you over those years. What has it meant to have a mentor and someone who is as experienced as Lance?
It's been really helpful. Like I said before, it's the water industry is massive. It's hard to navigate. Well, like I said, personally for me, it's hard to navigate. There's just so much going on, and coming into the water industry not with any particular focus or skill set, it was sort of, when I started, I could have gone a million and one ways. So Lance has really helped me, firstly, navigate the water sector and the whole sort of coming out of uni, but he's also sort of helped guide my career progression a little bit more. There was a time 18 months ago when the company was going through a bit of a reform, and whilst my position wasn't being made redundant or anything, there was a lot of other opportunities around there, and I was quite conflicted within myself on where I sort of might want to go, what experiences I might want to get, how that might shape me, and I sort of relied on Lance to sort of help me navigate my way through it. And it wasn't, Lance didn't say, excuse me, you should do this or you should do that. It was more just to help me develop my own thinking and help me guide my own progression. So that's sort of been my experience with the mentorship, and it's been truly valuable.
What does it mean to be named Tasmanian Young Water Professional of the Year? Is it a big role? Do you get a sash, a crown?
No sash, no crown, thankfully. For me, personally, it's more of like recognition that you're on the right track. It's sort of, I keep going back to it, the water industry is hard, and as a young professional, it's, for me at least, I find it difficult to know if I'm on the right track, if I'm doing the right things, if I'm forming my own ideas correctly, where am I going with all this? So to actually even just be nominated, let alone win the state finalist, sort of cements to me that, well, hang on, maybe you are on the right track. So it's sort of just yes, keep doing what you're doing. It's good work, it's valuable, so it's really good for that.
Tell us a little bit about the project that you worked on before your current role. I believe that you were doing some projects with water treatment optimisation, health checks, water plans.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the project that you're referring to, we titled it the health check for a conventional water treatment plant, and it's actually a little bit boring in the fact that it's quite rudimentary. It's not revolutionary whatsoever, but it was really a necessary step for TasWater's progression. TasWater was quite a young company, and it was also a very necessary step for our team at the time because they were sort of newly formed. And basically what it is, it's a really condensed, concise, robust sort of process engineering review of a water treatment plant. And the reason I sort of say it's rudimentary is water utilities all over the world are already doing this, but for TasWater it was something a little bit new because we'd never really had the resources to dedicate to it. So when my team was formed, which was called the Water Systems Optimisation team, they were really the first sort of process or operational engineers, ever in Tasmania, like dedicated operational engineers. So we really focused hard to really start at the beginning. So we, again, made a really concise program because we have over like 70 water treatment plants now, but at the time we're only focusing on 35 of a particular type. So we needed to get in there, get our hands dirty, really challenge assumptions, really, address the status quo in a fast, concise manner. But at the same time, we needed to deliver meaningful outcomes that were achievable. So the program was just a sort of TasWater's version of what other utilities are doing, but we had some, very specific restraints we had to work with. So yeah, that's sort of what we did.
And so you've been involved in cultural change, a lot of projects which sound quite crucial to a young organisation. What's been maybe the highlight for you of your career so far?
I don't know. I feel like everyone expects me to say winning the Young Water Professional, but I don't really see that as a highlight. It's more of just it sounds arrogant, but a bit of a well done. But highlight of my career so far was probably pulling off this program. It sort of just formed out of nothing, and it really rolled into quite a critical program that my team leveraged off, and it provided quite useful and meaningful outcomes to our business. So we've made changes. We've identified issues. We've got new capital works, like big capital works in the pipeline, coming up. So it all comes back to that, am I on the right track? So this was sort of developed sort of ad hocly, and it sort of matured as it went along. But I'd say just pulling it off and getting the recognition here, saying, yeah, that was a good idea. Maybe you should tell the industry about it, and the stuff that's happening back home is sort of really nice.
And what would you like to, what advice would you give for organisations when they're supporting new graduates, cadets, trainees? How can they best support those professionals?
Give them opportunities, I'd say. Don't just... I've been in the situation, I've had friends from university in the situation. Don't just give them the menial tasks. Let them go out and make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. I've made stupid mistakes. I've overflowed filters before. But you learn from that. So you give them the opportunity to learn and grow. Give them tasks that put them out of their comfort zone. I knew nothing about water treatment before I joined, or really started to get my hands on this, the project we just talked about. So I'd say give them opportunity. Trust them. Let them make mistakes. It might not be economically the best thing, but long term, I think it's a good outcome.
Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.